everyone. This is yet another podcast before Journeys to Inspire. And today I'm your interviewer, Annelies Fokker, and I'm with Lou Ahmed. Lou, do tell us a bit about yourself.
Thanks, Annalise. Hi, everyone. I'm Lutfiyyah Ahmed. Everyone calls me Lou. I'm currently a manager in a cyber risk team, and I focus mainly on privacy compliance. My background is in legal, but I do have a bit of a background as well in chemical engineering, which I studied before law. Um, Outside of work, I do enjoy making things. I love creating things with my 3D pen. I'm a bit of a homebody, so I do enjoy staying at home and doing my little creative arts. Although I do also like going to the park, sometimes playing football as well. Played football on Sunday and broke my body. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
What brought you to Journeys to Inspire? How did you come across it, and what inspired you to join this platform?
So my decision was a little bit of a personal one. I think I met a lot of the ladies at or through the CISO alliances. I think just the genuine and the strength of the women in the CISO alliances. I was so fascinated by their journeys, and I wanted to be a part and share my journey as well. Um, Personally, I grew up always thinking I need to do things on my own, in a sense, and wanting to be independent and not wanting to bother other people. And as I've matured in my journey, I've realized the importance of mentorship, the importance of listening to others' journeys and seeing that, actually, I can resonate with this. I've also been through this. I also grew in this way. And I think that hope and the sort of commonality between some of our struggles was something I also wanted to contribute to. And Journeys was a brilliant platform. I think when the idea came out and the ideas about what we would want to achieve from Journeys, is very much aligned to something I would be interested in. And so that's how my journey started with Journeys to Inspire.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think most of us actually found it very inspiring, that you always feel like you have this own struggle going, but then when you actually just sit back and listen to someone else, then you realize, oh golly, I'm actually not alone. There's many others with similar journeys that we are on, or struggles for that matter. And we should definitely leverage from each other to learn and to guide and all that. Maybe you've gone through something that I'm going through now, and you're able to guide through that. So you're a success story, but where can you manage expectations of others to make maybe on the same path as you currently?
So I think my journey, like a lot of other people's, was unique in the sense that I obviously started from a legal background and then transitioned into cyber and started on a little more of a technical route. I think a lot of my challenge came from thinking or limiting my own self. So culturally, I came from obviously a Muslim family. I was not very outspoken or, in the start of my career, and I think that I held myself back a lot from opportunities because the way I was raised is almost like speak when you're spoken to, kind of thing. So I wasn't very outspoken. I wouldn't really voice my ideas. And I think transitioning into the working world, I was a bit closed off to taking every opportunity. But I think I had such good mentors and my directors at the law firm. When I went into consulting, I had very good mentorship that helped me get out of that bubble. So I think my my sense of managing expectation is, even if you don't think you're confident enough or you're lacking in some way, don't see it as I'm never going to get to this point of someone else. Always think of it, well, how do I get to that point? Who do I speak to? How do I understand how this person got there? And that's why I think journeys are so important as well, because I look up to the woman in our group, and I think, wow, you're established, you're so strong, you're doing everything I wish I could be doing. And then I think, well, now I'm part of journeys, and people are gonna hopefully look up to me as well. But we've all struggled through similar things. I think one of the things I was quite shocked is the imposter syndrome. Like I didn't
Mm.
expect that so many other people, even on our alliances group, some of the males even speaking about, you know what, they've also struggled with imposter syndrome, even at a very senior level. So I think embracing the challenges and knowing that whatever you're dealing with, at some point, it is new. And we all have different stages of learning um, different components. So um, just embrace change, embrace challenge, and enjoy it.
So through this whole journey and all the learnings that there's been, what has this been the cost of the journey?
I think largely my health. I think my health suffered so much because I'm such a I want to be involved in everything. And sometimes I take on too much, and then I don't realize it that I'm running on adrenaline and my health suffers. So I think, again, mentorship and understanding priorities. I like to think I'm good at prioritizing, but sometimes even when I have the priority set and I know my workload, I'm taking on a lot more just because I want to be involved in everything, keep learning. But I think knowing your limits is so important, especially when your health starts getting affected. And I think with working from home as well, a lot of us working from home, we don't have that sort of um, shutdown from coming home. It's just we're at our home office, and then it just transitions into I'm at home working into the night. I think
Mm.
I've needed to put a stake in the ground for my own sanity sometimes. So yeah, I think that's been one of my challenges.
Of how do you actually find that balance? Majority of us do actually struggle with finding that balance between life and work and everything else that comes with that. So how do you find balance?
So I think that I've started like making sure that I'm timeous with my prayers. That helps me keep sane. Also, like taking that break. I was at some stage someone who would absolutely would miss lunch, would miss breakfast, and then I'd be completely burnt out. But I think taking that break and having your lunch, going and eating a meal, just having a breather. That helps you realign and be productive again. I think when I wasn't taking breaks, when I was like missing my meals and stuff, and my health was taking a toll, my productivity in the day was also less in terms of my mindset's not fresh. As compared to if I take a break for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Sometimes we don't have that luxury if we are in back-to-back meetings, but um, just make the time. I think it's important to make the time, manage expectations, and yeah, find that balance and do things that you enjoy. I'm very value driven. So if I'm not doing something that I'm feeling like I'm adding value to, it puts a bigger strain on me. So I try and keep a positive mindset as well. For a very long time, I was in a negative space where I was thinking, oh, now I need to do this, now I need to do that. I think just changing your mindset even helps a lot with the balance.
Looking back and looking back at the diversity throughout, have you ever had to cross through the diversity ceiling?
I think yes, definitely. So again, being in the cyber risk team, I think sometimes there's sort of a stigma that females do the GRC stuff, and I think I got comfortable in staying with compliance because my background is in compliance and, well, legal. So I wanted to break out of that mold, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I was getting the opportunities. Putting my hand up, but it's almost like to stay safe, just stick to stick to your lane. And I've been very fortunate that in my current team I have very strong, good female leadership that allow me to, with their support, delve into broader things outside of the compliance element. So I've been doing a lot of business continuity management, cyber program assessments with some of the technical components, and the strategy stuff. So I've been absolutely loving it. I think don't close yourself off to opportunities. Just embrace them, even if it's something new. Find the support, learn on it, and the biggest growth areas come from the struggles. So
Mm,
embrace the struggles, find the positive in it, and push on. Yeah.
yes, yes. And have you been seeing like positive change in the narrative from your side?
Things like our journeys to inspire. I think even in our CISO alliances, when we talk to some of our other colleagues, they're looking at equipping more people. They're looking at bringing more female leadership, and also looking at bridging that gap from compliance to more technical focuses, and saying you are enough. You can do this too. So I think that mindset, that change in mindset, and equity, I'm liking seeing that a lot.
But how do you find comfort in discomfort?
So I think to embrace it. When I was very junior, it gave me a lot of anxiety. I was constantly thinking, should I say this? Shouldn't I say this? And I think with support from my leadership, and um, taking the opportunities in a comfortable environment, like starting to speak. When I started, I'm going to backtrack a bit.
Mm,
But when I started in the law firm, I was terrified of speaking to people. As a lawyer, I mean, people expect you to speak. I wouldn't even greet people because I was scared that I would bother them. And my director actually came to me and he was like, "You didn't greet me this morning. What's wrong?" And then I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't want to bother you." And then he said, "No, come every day, greet me, ask me about my dog. I don't have a dog, but I want you to communicate." He
mm,
started pushing me to like speak with directors, and because I'm someone who, if you give me a task, I want to complete it. It pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I eventually am one of the one of the talkative ones in our team. So I think sometimes that push is something that all of us need, and I thankfully got that push from someone that was very supportive. So coming out of that, my comfort zone was really the nudge from my director all those years ago.
And I think that's one thing I'm also taking from journeys is learning from someone else's experience. So if
Mm,
you now see someone in your environment that's not very talkative in this scenario now, then encourage them to do that. We actually
mm,
currently have a girl in our audit team that is like completely, she doesn't even want to go out or walk with the
mm.
team or anything. But yeah, it's always just encouraging them and yeah, learning from it and taking everyone on the journey with you.
Definitely.
Um,
I think I'm also mentoring someone who's very scared of like speaking in client sessions and facilitating them. And what we've started doing is preparing in a safe space. Let's prepare,
yes.
let's see what the gaps in your understanding might be. Let's look at potential questions you can be asked. And then when you feel more prepared and like you can tackle something, even if you don't know, how do you respond to not knowing? How do you get back on certain things? So like just those little tips and tricks boost your confidence in a session as well. So I think um those are some of the learnings that I like to pass on.
So in terms of the diversity and the change, are you seeing a pattern or even a lack of change in and to in terms of the embracement of equality?
So I think I'm very fortunate in my team. We're about to recruit a few new batch of graduates and a few new team members, and we're almost going to out number the males in our team. So I think that diversity, it's so nice in a cyber risk team where um, I've been the minority, and suddenly we're almost on a on an equal footing. And I think just diversity from backgrounds as well brings so much into to our team, from a thinking perspective, understanding each other and ways of working. I think our team in particular are embracing it, and it's quite nice to see. I'm very fortunate to be in this team. Yeah.
If there's a legacy that you would like to leave behind, what would that be?
This is such a hard question. Um, maybe a phrase, and this is something I think I shared on our journeys packs, in terms of when you're more junior, like, take on all the opportunities, whether it's comfortable or not comfortable. There's very little expectations when you're at a more junior level, and when you're going to be taking on opportunities at a more senior level and the expectations are higher and you fail, um you can still fail, but just remember the expectations are higher. So I think something that I would have loved to do when I was more junior is take on more. I took on a lot, but I think I shied away from a lot as well. So I think if I took on a little bit more and got out of my comfort zone in my junior days, I would have benefited a lot more from it as well.
If you could leave a message for the younger self, for your younger self to find somewhere in the future, what would that be?
Enjoy your journey. Enjoy your journey, take the opportunities, embrace them. And yeah, I think sometimes, especially with our careers, we forget that we once enjoyed it, and sometimes we get so stuck on the deadlines. I as I mentioned, I'm very value driven, and I want to improve, and I want to learn and grow. And sometimes when I'm stuck on a deadline, I'm not enjoying my journey. And I think it's important to keep a positive mindset and just enjoy. That was one of the key things that my director told me starting out. And the other thing, I think I've kept close, that was advice that um, is very very simple, but somehow it didn't quite click in my brain. Was, if you have a problem, don't just complain to whoever can't solve it. Complain to the person who solved it with the intention of solving it. And I think we can get so much further if we just complain to the right people. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a complaint. It can be, you know what, I'm having this difficulty. Can you help me? Or I'm noticing this. What can I do about it? I think it will make a lot of our lives better if we just use the right avenues.
Yeah. Any last words that you would like to impart on our journeys to inspire followers?
Um, I think even if you think you're the imposter in the room, always think that you have your strengths. You know what your strengths are. You know what your weaknesses are, but leverage your strengths. And use your weaknesses identified as a growth opportunity. When we're all imposters at some point. And we all have different phases of our learning journey. So don't be afraid of not knowing something, and getting to know something as well. I think a lot of us shy away from asking questions, or getting in the know just because we think we should know it. And that's not
Mm.
always the case. There's so many things that we need to know. So yeah, that would
Definitely.
probably be one of the things.
Nothing wrong with asking.
Yes.
But Lou, thank you very much for joining us this evening and for the positive change that you are making in STEM. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Annalise.